Well, the first book that I wrote was called I Am Beautiful Just for Being Me. And that came about when one of my very good friends rang me at about 12 o'clock at night to say that their baby girl had just been born. And at that point I was laying in bed going, go back to sleep, go back to sleep. But these messages just kept coming to me. So more out of frustration, I just leant over and I got my mobile phone and I wrote everything that was coming to me. And that became initially a letter for this little baby girl. But then I realised if it's for her, it's for everyone. So that book formulated from a frustrating moment at night time when I was trying to get to sleep. But it was basically a love letter to her, which is a love letter for everyone. And then the next two books, Whoops is one of my favourite words, and my number one job really came from what I repetitively say in the clinic to my clients. So in regards to the Whoops book, I have noticed that there's a hidden epidemic in the world that's called perfectionism, and it's not spoken about. It's not noticed to the intensity of what perfectionism is, but perfectionism is actually governing 99% of people's behaviours in so many different ways. It is just such poison. We say they're children's books, but they're for children who are 0 to 100 plus, because we're all experiencing the same challenges. And so Whoops is one of my favourite words, simply just came about by saying how do we support this message to become a person's everyday livingness. Because if that word whoops is introduced to all of our vocabulary with well, what can I learn from this, we're going to reduce the level of anxiety so much so. Well before I started Fabic, and when I first finished school, I did a childcare degree and I worked in a childcare centre for a few years. And so I'm working with these young kids that would often come in with a graze on their knees or a bruise, and I'm up there and putting Dettol on or putting a Band-Aid on them, but also talking to them to say, well, you haven't actually done your number one job. And looking at supporting them to say your number one job is to look after your body, because that's all you've got for the rest of your life. So unless you're looking after your body, there's no one else that can do that for you. So yes, go and run and skip and hop and jump and play, but make sure you do that while looking after your body at the same time. So that started back when I was 18 or 19 in childcare, and just that repetitive statement of, well, what's your number one job? And then that carried into Fabic, and from that became the book, What's My Number One Job?